it's how we choose to treat people on our teams, right? That's how they're going to treat our customers, right? They're going to reflect that back to us. And as founders, what happens is we're going to have to commit to things, right? We're going to say, what do we represent? Do I represent things like timeliness? Like I want to be timely in everything I do. I want to hit my deadlines. Do I want to be accurate when I do my work in the world? Do I want to do it with integrity, right? Do I want to be in integrity as I do my work? And do I want to do the right thing, even when it's not easy or not convenient? The founder has to decide that as part of their culture. Today we got a special topic. I always try to curate topics that I think it's going to be unique and really help you guys. So today I've got a topic called founder energy. So I'm really excited about that. And we want to make sure that this is extremely helpful for you. But today, what I want to do is I want to talk about something called founder energy. Well, founder energy, one of the things that I notice in most businesses, whenever I go into a business, I've seen businesses, I've worked with a lot of businesses, it can be big businesses, smaller businesses. What I notice is that these businesses tend to take on the personality of the owner. The businesses tend to take on the energy of the owner. And they tend to take on not just the energy, but the personality of the owner. So if you've got a founder that is really energetic, they're the kind of person that never leaves at 5, right? You're going to find that the team stays beyond 5, right? They tend to leave with the owner. If that founder is energetic, if they're super bubbly, right? That firm, that business takes on the personality of the owner. Like I can't imagine what the Chick-fil-A guy was like, right? And on the other hand, if you've got a founder that is kind of aloof, that he's kind of introverted or shy, he doesn't really like to talk a lot, you're going to see a business start to take on those attributes too. You're going to see more of an aloof type of attitude. You're going to see people that are more formal, right? Not very communicative, not really at team sports. You're going to see that happen in a company too. And in a lot of cases, when that founder leaves the business because they either sell the business, someone takes over that business, whether it be it's inherited to that person, what starts to happen is you start to see this immediate shift in the aura, right, of that company or the personality of the company. You start to see that shift. It starts to lose that unique spark that company had that owner brought to it. And today, what I want to do is I want to talk about the importance of infusing your business with your goodness and your energy, because, that spirit that we bring in, the things that we find important, right? If things are important, that's going to be important to our team, which is that energy that you're going to want to serve your clients with, right? With that. And this topic is really important, founder energy, because your business reflects who you are. Okay. Your team picks up your energy levels. And that energy that your team is absorbing from you, and you walk in, you're bubbling, you're excited about every single day, right? And I know, I get it. It's hard to be excited about every day. That energy that you portray is reflected and absorbed in your team, and then reflected out to your customers, to your prospects, your applicants, and I would say even to the universe as a whole, right? That energy that you put out into your team, what you give them in terms of spirit, enthusiasm, energy, they absorb it and reflect it out towards to who they talk to. And today, what I want to do is I want to talk about intentionally influencing your work culture with the essence of who you are. Okay. And I am personally biased. I think personally that some of the best cultures out there, they're not random cultures at all. They're actually intentional cultures, meaning that the founder actually sat down and thought about, what do I want to represent, right? Who are we as a business, right? Who is our essence? What is our personality of this business? Do I want to say my pleasure, right? Like Chick-fil-A? Do I want to be happy like Ram Brothers, right? What kind of personality do I want to bring to this world, right? What do I want my company to reflect? Who are we, right? That founder decides up front, who are we? What is the gift that we bring to this world? And they also decide, what's important to them in terms of daily interactions, right? How do they want their team to interact? Do we want us to be like a sports team? We're working together to get the ball down into the basket. Or do I want this to be a cutthroat type of culture, right? The founder has to decide that up front, right? And it's how we choose to treat people on our teams, right? That's how they're going to treat our customers, right? They're going to reflect that back to us, right? And as founders, what happens is we're going to have to commit to things, right? We're going to say, what do we represent? Do I represent things like timeliness? Like I want to be timely in everything I do. I want to hit my deadlines. Do I want to be accurate when I do my work in the world? Do I want to do it with integrity, right? Do I want to be in integrity as I do my work? And do I want to do the right thing, even when it's not easy or not convenient, right? The founder has to decide that as part of their culture. And the founder has to decide also, what is it that I'm not going to tolerate? What violates my values? What makes me just itch all over, right? What are the things that are just completely against my spirit and my soul, right? What are the things I'm not going to tolerate? And these are the things that as founders, we have to infuse into our immutable laws, right? And when I talk about immutable laws, I'm talking about values-based laws, meaning things that you're going to tolerate, things you're not going to tolerate, right? And as founders, right, as founders of our business, when we allow something to continue, right, if we allow a staff person to come in late, right, or come in when they want, take an hour and a half lunch, not meet deadlines, right, and they're doing things that we don't agree with, what we tolerate is what we become, right? And so, we have to be intentional. We have to be intentional to create that culture, right? We have to be intentional to create that culture by defining who we are up front. And not just defining what we are up front, but communicating to our teams, right? So that they can communicate to the world outward, right? We don't want who we are to become a random act of somebody else's values. We want that to be what we are. And so this starts with, stating those immutable laws, right? Sitting down and writing it down. What are the things that I value, right? I know one of the things that our firm has done is we have posters all around our office. And these posters are there to remind everyone that as they come in daily, who we are, who we are and what we stand for. Okay. And then whenever somebody joins our firm and they're brand new, we talk about these are our immutable laws. These are the things that we stand for. These are the things that we believe in. This are the things how we want to treat our clients. And even for our new hires, we actually create a little plaque for them. And we give this gift to everyone that joins our team. And what it says is, one, it's our mission statement. It's why are we here? We're here to provide creative, honest solutions to financial services, right? When our clients have a problem, we want to fix it, right? And not only that, we want to fix it, but we want to make sure our clients sleep at night, right? They're not building this empire just to lose it to the IRS, right? We want them to be able to work hard and get what they deserve. And I also define our core values in this poster here. And our core values are integrity, right? We're going to do work honestly. We're going to do it ethically. We're going to be creative with our problem solving, okay? We're going to tackle hard problems that no other accounting firm has been able to solve. We're going to best our best, meaning how we were yesterday is going to be different than how we are today, okay? We look at ourselves as not baseball players, but like basketball players. We're going to dunk the ball. We're going to dunk it even better tomorrow. And we're going to have on-time delivery. We're not going to be late, okay? If something's going to be late, it's not going to be us that's causing it. We're going to do work that's accurate, right? We're not just going to throw things together. We're going to do it accurate, but we're also going to find the best way to do it. We're going to be efficient. And so what that means is we're going to always do the right thing. We're going to solve complex problems. We're going to best our best. We're going to deliver on time. And we're going to be proud of the work that we do that's going to be accurate and efficiency. And we put this on everybody's desk. Everybody gets this flag when they start with us. And we do this because we want to communicate to our team that these are our values. This is how we treat each other. This is our commitment to our clients. This is our commitment to the world. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to best our best. And this is how we're going to do that. And every decision that we make is going to be in line with those values. And so that founder energy, that founder belief is being communicated to everyone that we work with. And it's interesting because, as founders, we have the opportunity to influence strongly how our team treats each other, right? And how they treat one another. Like I talk about, you can have that team spirit where we help each other. Oh, you're having a problem. You got a question. I can jump in and help you. Or, you can create a cutthroat team like you hear about some of the law firms and accounting firms have, right? And we don't want to have that in our team. As founders, we have that ability based upon how we treat our teams. Do we play favoritism to anybody? We always look at somebody and we're having a conversation, or do we make a point to include everyone that's on our team? Do we look at everyone's eyes as we go around? Meaning I look at your eyes, I look at your eyes as I'm talking. I make sure that everybody in the room is being involved in this conversation, right? And I remember one time, I was in the office and I was in a hurry. It was like 5:00 and my kids were in daycare and I had to pick them up by 6:00 because, they start putting like $1 per minute. And I can't imagine my little children being put out in the streets, right? And so, I must have had this terrible look of stress on my face, wrinkled forehead, grabbing your computer, running out the door. And I remember the next day, my senior accountant quartered me at the coffee stand. And she let me know, and this is great that we had this relationship that she could talk to me and let me know her feelings, but she let me know how offended she was when I left without saying goodbye. Like she let me have it. And I'll be honest with you, in my heart of hearts, I was just leaving, right? I was just leaving. I was in a hurry. I didn't want to disturb anybody. They were working. It was tax season, and I didn't want to mess up anybody's group. I needed to get out there and get my kids, right? But what I had built over time was I had built a culture where there was a culture of camaraderie. And what that means is usually as I left every single day, I usually shout in the accounting room. I'm not even looking at anybody. I always shout to them. I said, thank you for all your hard work. You guys have a great evening. It was just something that I had always done every single day. And because I didn't say it this one day, right? I left in a haste. I had this obviously look of they heard the door slam and my feet scurrying, right? Because I didn't say it that one day, they assumed that I must have been angry or mad at them. And what I'm saying is, even as founders, even our bad days can rub off on our team, right? Even our bad days. And we have to be intentional about how we treat our team members, because even the smallest thing, like having to get to daycare really quick, in a hurry, they have the biggest impact, right? They have the biggest impact on how our team is going to talk to our clients, how they're going to talk to each other, right? Because if you're playing favoritism, they're going to like, oh, that person's on the fast track and there's no point in even me trying, right? Because I only talk to that one person when I talk, right? They're also going to look at, how you're going to talk about your future outlook of your company, right? Do you see positive things happening, great things happening to your company? Or all do you see is like, oh no, the upcoming bad things that might potentially happen, right? And how we exude that energy, how we exude that outlook, or what outlook we choose to pick to exude, right? That influences our team members' ability to even see vision for themselves. Like I imagine Elon Musk, people like probably started resigning as soon as he announced that he was selling his company, right? He probably lost the good players before he even had a time to take over, right? Because they knew that his outlook was to cut, right? The good ones didn't want to be cut. So they said, hey, we need to go ahead and jump ship right now and go over to Google in order to like save our jobs, right? So really how our ability to see our own vision, right? Our ability to communicate that vision really impacts our team members' vision of themselves. I remember like in 2020, you guys probably remember it too. I know you guys have been around as long as I have in many cases. I remember COVID. And I remember when COVID hit, and I'll be honest with you, when COVID hit, I was as afraid as any entrepreneur out there. None of us could predict what was going to happen with COVID, how long it was going to last, how our clients will be impacted. None of us knew how this COVID thing was going to impact us. And I was as stressed as anybody else about how I was going to accommodate the social distancing thing. We had people that were in the office, cube by cube. How do we get people 6 feet apart? And is our air system even good enough for that? And I was concerned about transition. How would our team be able to transition to remote work? Would they be able to do this? Right? Because, they're used to that camaraderie. They're used to rubbing shoulders. They're used to seeing each other at the coffee machine every day. And to be honest with you, when COVID was happening, I didn't have all of the answers, right? I didn't know how this was going to play out. I didn't know how the economy would even go, right? Or who was going to be impacted by it. I didn't know how our clients would be impacted, right? Depending on the industry, right? Especially those that were the estheticians, those that were in surgeries, that type of thing. We didn't know how things were going to turn out. But all I knew was my values was I could never ask another human being that was being led to me to do something that I wasn't willing to do. That's the only thing that I knew was that I was not willing to ask someone to sacrifice their life in a way that I wasn't willing to do. And so what I decided to do was I decided that I needed to focus on the things that the team could have control over. I needed to focus them particularly on the things that they could control. I couldn't go in a room showing my stress, right? I couldn't go in the room showing my fear of the unknown. And instead, what I did was I focused on how do we ensure the success of our clients during this time of crisis. So how do we make sure that our clients are successful as they can be in this environment was what I chose to focus the team on. Not how long the pandemic's going to last, not like, what could potentially happen, but what can we focus on? How can we focus on making our clients successful? And what I immediately began doing was I began sending out emails to the clients. I said, you know what? We got your back. We're watching what's happening here. And I actually got on the phone with the clients and I said, you know what? Well, there's PPP money that might be coming around soon. There's an EIDL grant coming on, and we're going to help prepare you to get to the front of the line, was what we told all the clients. And what that meant for us was I had my team in the back office. I said, you know what? The clients haven't even asked for this information yet. They don't even know that they need this information yet. But we've already read the upcoming guidelines for these PPP loans. I need all of you to pull the payroll tax returns for the last 12 months for every single client. I need you to go in the system, pull the payroll registers. Now, the clients aren't even thinking about this, but as soon as this opens up, they're going to need this information. And I want you to start sending it to them and putting it on the portal so they can download this before they need it. Because we want to make sure that these clients are at the front of the line when that happens, when the SBA opens the door. We want to make sure not only are they at the front of the line, but they can actually apply for these grants, right? They already have everything right there at their fingertips in order to get that. And then for our Schedule C filers out there, we were rushing to like just finish up the Schedule C. For Schedule C filers, we made sure those returns got done priority, right? That they were done as soon as possible before the line opened up because we wanted to make sure that they got those, right? And so we were focusing on getting our clients to the front of the line. And we chose not to, I use that word specific, we chose not to focus on the fear. We chose not to focus on what possibly could happen, right? And I didn't allow that fear, even though I felt it in my stomach, I didn't allow that fear to show on my face or in my voice or in my communication. I got up and you would have thought that she was like totally oblivious to the world, just smiling face, energetic, that we are as accountants are going to save the world the best way we can. Okay. And that's what PPP money right now. That was the attitude that I brought to it. And I focused on the mission at hand and what needed to be done to meet that mission and what needed to be done to secure the outcomes for our client. That was the focus instead of the negativity. And as founders, we have significant power, right? Power to drive the outcomes that we desire through our attitudes, our thoughts, we focus our thoughts into certain things that can create the attitudes and the actions that we need to accomplish this. And for us, it's just a matter of knowing, what's important to you, and not just what's important to you, right? Not just those immutable laws and those values, but once you know what those are, modeling those, right? Modeling those behaviors of what you want your team to reflect, how you want them to behave. And then not only modeling it, but you might have those critical conversations where you're going to actually have to enforce the behavior. If you see someone that's not quite in line with the immutable laws, not in line with the values, you're going to have to course correct that, right? Because if you allow that to continue, that becomes your organization, right? That becomes your energy because of the energy of tolerance. And for me, when I have intolerance going on in my organization, I feel it in my stomach and I probably show up a mad face, right? Even though I don't want to have a mad face. So it's about modeling behavior and enforcing behavior once you figure out those values. Now, I hope that today was extremely helpful for you guys. And until next time, may the profits be with you.